Hello, hello, and welcome to my live call. My name is Chad Allen, and today we are going to be discussing three three steps to change your life for the better. And it's all about self perception and how you perceive yourself and how that affects your decision making as you are continuing to do whatever it is that you do. So that is our topic for today. My name is again Chad Allen. I am a registered nurse by trade. I have a master's degree in nursing informatics, and a little bit about myself. I In 2015 I was married to. Of course, I got married to my wife, and we had a baby. So she got pregnant in February of 2016, and then by September of 2016, we found out that she had breast cancer, and so she held off doing any kind of treatment, and then by the time she gave birth in November, my wife had progressed to stage 4 breast cancer, and by the time my daughter was 9 months old, unfortunately, my wife died. Uh, then from that point, I was remarried. About a year and a half, about a year later, I was married to our best friend, and what a wonderful mother she is. I'm so happy to be with her, and that our daughter has an awesome mom now. So we're really, really, really happy about that. So you can go to my website at chadallen.net, CHADALLAN.net, and you get my freebie there at chadallen.net/freebie, FREEBIE, or you can just click on the link below the banner on the homepage itself, and you can go get it that way as well. So, 3 tips to change your life. Okay, so let's talk about this very thing, because I think what happens is when a lot of people, it's how they view themselves, right? They have you ever told yourself that you're just going to do something that, yeah, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to make it happen. I Nothing's going to stop me, right? And then maybe a half hour later, 45 minutes later, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. I can't do it. Something's going on. I don't know. You know, it's too much. It's kind of annoying, and it's getting really tough. Yeah, I just don't know if I can really do it or not. And so you start having all of this self doubt that begins to attack you. And this is not something that's just to certain people or to some people. Everybody goes through this. I don't care who they are, they go through this. Whether you're President Trump, or whether you are s- a very wealthy person in a network marketing company, or you are a person who is just trying to make ends meet in life. You go through the exact same thing as everybody. You have this great zeal for something, and all of a sudden, something happens where it makes you think differently, and you begin to have the self doubt. You begin to self sabotage yourself into really achieving the kind of goals that you were setting out to achieve. And a lot of times when people talk about self help, or they talk about having a positive attitude, that kind of thing, it's good intentions. They really want you to be successful, and it's stuff that works for them, but it may not exactly work for you, because everybody is a little bit different than the person who's may have had success. Not everybody can just pick up a self help book or a positive thinking to say, I'm going to start thinking positively starting today, that kind of thing. And you will really find that while people really say those things, it becomes really difficult to really achieve those things, to really uh, to start thinking positive. You might say, "Hey, I want to think positive," but then the next thing you know, it's like there's a negative thought that comes into your mind, right? And but does that mean that your purpose of wanting to think positive has been self defeated? No, not really, because like I said, we're all human. We all go through those things. So, for a lot of people, it becomes a journey that they are pursuing, right? You know, the journey is that life change that you want to exhibit and experience is lifelong. It's not going to be overnight. For many cases, some people though, obviously, they can make a decision today, and the rest of the day, the rest of the time, they're on it, right? They made the progress. Others, when they make a decision, it takes a while for them to really uh, have a full life change. So don't get. So you need to know yourself for one thing, right? You really need to know who you are and you know yourself, because that's really going to help you to determine your goals, and how, what kind of goals you're going to have, and how long it's going to take you. So if you're somebody who is really trying to, if you're someone that you know it's going to take a year or two, then you should really set your goals for a year or two to have the kind of change that you are looking for. If you're someone who that you know you could do it within 30 days, then that's who you are, right? So, but there are certain things that we go through that is keep when we say we're gonna do things, but then we don't. We're always there's always like this feeling we always fail. Like, so we set a goal, like for example, weight loss. So we set a goal for weight loss that we're gonna achieve this particular weight loss uh, thing by a particular time frame. But then what happens is we don't do it because of whatever reason, right? So, and at the end of the day, it's typically because that we don't it has not hit us hard enough, right? We haven't got hit hard enough to really make that kind of change. We don't have the zeal, we don't have the desire, or whatever it is. But I think what I'm about to show you, I think if we put these steps into place, then I think it will help you and help myself and other people. It will really help you to understand where you're at and what you need to do to create the kind of change that you're looking for. So, the kind of change I'm going to be talking about is more, it could be from a personal level to uh, a physical or to a financial level. So, uh, let's go ahead and get started because I think it's very, very important. So, imagine, like, if imagine you are somebody who, whatever they do, you are always self doubting yourself, or you're always talking negative to yourself. I've done this before on myself. So, like, for example, something went wrong, or you did something that wasn't the best decision, and then after it's done, you say to yourself, "Ah, that was so stupid of me. Ah, I was so dumb. Ah, I was this or was that." And then you begin to wonder, and then that self doubt begins to fester inside of you. That negativity festers inside of you, and you're spending the rest of the day, rest of the evening, uh, focused on that particular thing that you did wrong. And then from that point, it keeps you from what? Acting on what you really are wanting to act on. The kind of success that you're really, really trying to seek. So my goal for you and for anybody listening, whether it be replay or live, is that you will begin to stop talking to yourself in a very negative light, and then start seeing yourself for the godly potential that God has given you, because we are all given potential, and God, would not bring us into this world if we do not have the kind of the kind of person that He wants us to be, the kind of man or the kind of woman, that He really is looking for us to be. So, so let's. So, what are the steps? So before I get to the steps, you can go to my website at chatallan.net, ChatAllan.net, and you can also get my freebie there at chatallan.net/freebie. I will play it underneath for you. There you go. And so the three steps. So let's go talk about the three steps. Okay. Uh, when did you just like ask yourself this one particular question? When did you start to have self doubt? Now, really think about this particular question, because I think when you really understand it, then I believe it will be a aha moment, right? Because this is something that people really when they this is something that people go to counselors for. They go to shrinks to find out all this stuff. So when did you start having self doubt? And why do I ask that question? Why do I ask? Because in reality is, and especially if you're familiar with psychology and that kind of thing, reality is that much of what we have come conditioned to was learned when we were young. And I'll give you an example of this. So you're always saying that you're stupid, or you're saying that you're dumb, or you're saying that you just can't do it. It's too hard for you, or whatever it is, right? So you're always coming up with these things that are popping into your mind. Well, think back when you were younger, or maybe it wasn't when you're younger. Maybe it was a little bit later in life. But think about people who were very important to you, whether it be a brother, sister, uncle, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, whatever. Okay, so you do something, and the first, and they would say something to the effect of, "Well, why?" You were that was so stupid. You're so dumb. You're so this. You're so that, and the next thing you know, it becomes conditioned in your mind, right, that you are this way. And then as you grow older, you then become this person who is so every time something difficult comes by, or something happens, oh, I'm so dumb, or I'm so this, or I can't do it because it's too hard. You quit, right? So then go back and really look at why is it that you are self-doubting yourself, and go back to when you were younger, or whenever a very where a point in life where you stopped being the positive person that you were, and began to have all of that negativity begin to come in, because that stuff is really conditioned. If negativity is really conditioned into your mind, right, then it can also be conditioned out of the mind, and then you can begin to be more positive. You could be more assertive. You could do the things that you need to do in order to be successful in life, right? So go back and think about that. Okay, number two, you need to begin to release forgiveness. You gotta learn how to forgive. You gotta learn how to forgive others. You gotta learn how to forgive yourself. You gotta learn how to forgive whatever issue it is that you are suffering from, right? You got to learn how to forgive and release all that forgiveness to God. So for the Christian, when you release it to God, or if you're not Christian, if you release it to whatever, you just let it go, get rid of it, then healing can begin to happen, right? And then instead of having all that negativity built into you, all that anger and distrust and whatever it is that's inside of you, when you learn how to forgive and just let it go and not allow it to bother you, then you can begin to attack and get rid of these things that are causing you uh, so many hangups. So now forgiveness, I want to make very, very, very clear. Forgiveness does not mean that you're going to forget. Forgiveness does not mean that you are going to uh the person who did the wrong to you, that all of a sudden you become their their best friend again, right? It could happen that way. You could, just forgive and then move on. But that's not always forgiveness per se. Forgiveness is really more about you no longer allowing the control, the chains being tied to you. You see, it's how like when you respond to certain things in life, right? You have two choices: you get angry about it, or you be nonchalant, or you take it in a positive light, right? So, what are you going to do? And if the person that caused you an offense, or the thing that you did caused you an offense, that means to yourself, you caused yourself an offense, and you cannot forgive yourself for doing that, or you cannot forgive someone for doing something to you, right? You're holding all that anger inside of you, and that pain and agony that's keeping you crushed, and it's keeping you down. So that's why you're having some of this self doubt, or you can't move on past a certain thing. So by releasing forgiveness to yourself and to others, then you learn how to move past these things and begin to be the kind of person that you're wanting to be. Because this is just one part of the equation of learning how to be more positive, learning how to stop having the self doubt in your mind, and to become stronger and to be able to move forward so that the success that you're looking for, whether it be weight loss or whether it be financial, whether it be whatever, that you begin to increase in that knowledge and increase in your chances of having that success. See, this is something that you will never hear with many other people, because they don't really get down to the root of the problem, because really most things that keeping you hung up is that it's at the root of the issue that is keeping you there, right? So it's like when someone becomes a Christian, they have forgiveness from Christ, right? They get baptized, they whatever, right? This is what they do. They have that, and they have that forgiveness. But what's happening is they still are holding on to that pain and agony. Even though God released them, even though God forgave them, what are they doing? They're still holding on to that pain and agony. They're still cherishing that hurt that is keeping them who they are still, and they can't just seem to get past that cherished hurt, because it's so cherished that they have to say, wow, this is great, right? But if they just learn how to release, they can grow so much better, in their life, right? So this is what I mean by forgiveness, releasing the forgiveness that is causing you so much pain and agony, that's causing you to have all of this self-doubt, that's keeping you from realizing your full potential. See, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. And if you learn how to forgive yourself, you can learn how to forgive others. And if you learn how to forgive others, then you can learn how to bless others and be a blessing, and uh, have a positive outlook on life, be positive toward other people, where they draw near to you because they want to learn more about you. You see, this is what you know. I love sharing this kind of thing with you because I really believe that when you learn this, then you can begin to realize your full potential. And when people are become my business partners, I want them to have the full potential and realize everything that they can about themselves so they can have the most success in life. And so learn how to forgive. Okay, this is super super important. Forgive your mom, forgive your dad, forgive yourself, forgive your brother, forgive your grandma, forgive your husband or wife, forgive whoever it is that's causing all this hold up in you, and release it. Easier said than done. I know as you said, and it doesn't happen right away. I know, this is why I says, it may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take just overnight, it may take just 30 days. But whatever that decision is that you have, you need to learn how to let go and then work to let it go. It's like when you become a Christian, you have forgiveness of everything that you've done from Christ, but that does not mean that you are fully uh, renewed, right? Like you have it there. It's there for you, but it's because you still have all these chains in your mind, in the back of your the subconscious. Everything's still it's still there. The chain has not fully been broken. It's God says, I am no longer holding it charged to you, but you are holding yourself hostage by these very things. So you have to begin to break free from these chains that are making you have self doubt, that's causing you to self sabotage, that is causing you to not be the full potential that you are called to be. So, third, okay, so let's talk about number three, okay? Number three is that you need to learn how to be a blessing to other people, okay? So, if you learn how to be a blessing to other people, then you can also begin to be to have a positive influence on other people as well. So now, what does it mean to be a person of blessing to other people? So of course, you share that type of knowledge that you have. You share your experiences with other people so that they can learn. You are uh, like, let's say you have a family, right? Let's say you have a husband or wife, and you have children. So instead of talking to them in a negative way, instead of saying, "Oh, you're so dumb," you look for the positive and say, you are a beautiful child, or you're so beautiful, or you're so handsome. And then if you're wanting to correct something, you don't say, "Oh, you did this was so you were so bad," because you're attacking the integrity of the person, right? You're attacking the individual. So instead of trying to attack the individual, you want to attack the behavior. So you're really beautiful, but I really didn't like what happened. I really felt that this was wrong, but I forgive you. I love you, that kind of thing, and then you move on, right? And if it's a child, of course, if it's like you have to, you're giving the discipline and whatnot to correct the behavior, but you are not attacking them as a person, because when you attack the personhood of them, then this is where the negativity begins to be set in, right? The feeling of loneliness, the feeling of unwantedness, the feeling of uh of not desiring to be whatever, right? So if you want to handicap your children to realizing their full potential in life, attack them as an individual. If you want them to realize their full potential and become the best that they can be, attack the behavior, correct the behavior, but at the same time, bless them as a person. So, in the Bible, you will always learn about God. God gives examples of a blessing. Abraham gives us examples of blessing. Jacob, Joseph, all these people, they, the patriarchs, and even the New Testament uh, apostles, whatnot, all giving examples of what it means to be to bless. So learn how to uh, present a future. So, for example, it's like you'll say something to the effect of, uh, "Hey, you are. I really affirm you for this and this, and I can really see the I can really see you becoming uh this in the company, and I really believe that you can be this. And how can I help you to achieve this particular thing?" And how so it's instead of attacking them because you're thinking that they're in competition, right? It's like, oh my goodness, I don't want that person to get to be better than me. Well, you want your kids to be better than you, right? You want your kids to rise above you and become better. Well, why not? Like, when it comes to business, why not the same? And so you are teaching them how to be a stronger candidate, a stronger business partner, so that they can grow and be more and be who they are, so they can influence more people. See, our whole idea is to influence other people so that they can have a better life. And that is exactly what many people are doing. This is why, you have healthcare products, or weight loss products. This is why you have business opportunities. This is why you have, um, why you do the things you do. You're looking to have a better life, and to have a better life, you have to be able to also to be a person who is able to uh, help other people in a positive way. Not to be degrading, not to be to see them as competition, not to see them as uh taking whatever away from you, but instead, blessing them and being uh the kind of leader that God really wants you to be, because that's what God really wants. He wants you to be that positive person, that person that's going to really influence people for Him, for His kingdom, but also for the secular world, because you are an example and a light to other people. So, this is basically what I have for tonight. And I really hope that you got great value out of tonight's call. And if you did, please share this video with your friends and family. And also visit my website at chadallen.net, CHADALLAN.net/freebie, FREEBIE. And I'll be back. Actually, I don't know if I'll be back Friday, but we'll try to be back on Friday. I was supposed to have a video call on Friday, but something's going on Friday. I can't remember exactly what it is. Ah, yeah, I have an event on Friday, and it may go into the 8 o'clock hour, so I may not be able to do the live call at that particular time. So if I can't get on Friday, I will be back on Monday. And then Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is typically at 8 p.m. is typically the the call times with that I do live videos. So I want to thank you for being on the call tonight, and I hope you got great value out of it. Please share it with your friends and family, and I will see you either Friday or Monday. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much. God bless.